didn't say anything. Good evening, everyone. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, it is with grateful hearts that we come before you today, thanking you for the many talents you have given to each of us, the members of the Tobago Writers Guild. We are about to share to the world our many gifts. We welcome all our viewers and ask your blessings on our contributions, and that you will let everything flow decently and by your arrangement. In Jesus' name, amen. I now introduce our Vice President, Mrs. Anne-Marie Davis.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, who are joining us today on various social media platforms. Tobago Writers Guild, commonly known as TWIG, is pleased to present to you, our listening and viewing audience, our first virtual show, which has been aptly dubbed Stepping Out of COVID. We are indeed heartened and appreciative of you spending time in our company, and we do assure you that it will be an evening well spent. Due to our inability to host our annual literary affair as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, it was decided that we would collectively hone our creative talents and skills and do an online production for your enjoyment. For those who may be wondering what are some of the activities of the Guild, I will now give you a general overview. The Tobago Writers Guild was incorporated on February 12, 2010 as an NGO with an aim at improving, developing, and promoting the creative skills of all our writers through various medium: monologues, poetry, song, extempo, dramatic pieces, spoken word, and journalistic commentaries. Monthly meetings are held on the third Saturday or Sunday at 5 p.m. at the Scarborough Methodist School at Calder Hall. Under the dynamic and astute leadership of our president, Mr. Rodney Pigott, the Tobago Writers Guild has been able to grow and blossom into a formidable writing group, making its presence felt in all spheres of society. We have been able to host successful signature events annually, which include our literary affair in May and our reading fest in October, and the reviews are always both positive and encouraging. Our offerings have also been expanded to include an open mic show for children between the ages of 7 and 14 years called First Mic, the Next Chapter, which is an open mic event for young adults, as well as our monthly lecture series where social and contemporary issues are ventilated, addressed, and possible solutions sought. An outstanding hallmark of our existence is being able to collectively publish our anthology of poems, all written by Tobagonian writers. We are also in the process of establishing our own publishing house, which will soon open its doors to the public. We have also collaborated with the Bocas Litfest team in Trinidad to host our own version in our Tobago space. It is also noteworthy to acknowledge the fact that in our Guild we have a total of 8 published writers whose works can be found locally, regionally, and internationally. As I welcome you again to our virtual show, we do hope that our selected offerings would be both informative and enjoyable, and that the outcome of your evening would be a rather pleasant one. I am Anne-Marie Davis, Vice President of the Tobago Writers Guild, and it is indeed a pleasure to now hand you over to the very capable hands of our Masters of Ceremonies, Mrs. Deborah Moore Miggins and Mr. Leroy George, who will now guide you through this evening's proceedings.
Thank you, Anne-Marie, and good evening to all viewers, those of you looking at us from all various media and platforms. My name is Deborah Moore Miggins, and here is young Leroy George.
Good afternoon, Tobago in general, and all those that are looking on our Facebook Live internationally in general.
Yes, viewers, we have a very packed evening for us, so let's get cracking. We are happy that you can join us, and we want you to enjoy every morsel that we present to you this evening. First, we have Miss Milka Robinson Reed. This is a stalwart of the Writers Guild. She is a published author. She has done Important Moments, Episodic Tobago, which is a very well-reviewed book that Miss Milka Robinson Reed has written, and we want to hear her today on extra fake news. She says this has been composed predominantly for entertainment purposes. Thus, she reminds you the characters and content are fictitious. Milka Robinson Reed.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Come and get it. You can't afford to miss it. Read Trinidad Guardian, the Daily Express, and Newsday. They surely will lighten and brighten your day. Newsday have about education's melee. Trinidad Guardian reveals humongous corruption. Daily Express competing with the rest to see who can report COVID best to chew and digest. Good for nothing. You're overrotten. You know want for spend a nickel. Look at our story here about June. She planning to remarry soon. You have no ambition. And you're giving foul competition, man, because you look like rake and scrape, and you're not far from cremation. What you're doing is giving June room for she to go on she's second honeymoon. Look the news there. It is hot off the press. The front page is a new fashion section. It's showcasing women with high-rise bosom, some higher than the old Salvatore building, and sugar daddies, the wannabe sexy men at the bottom. Well, all you know fashion show is best for women skinny. Well, the next page have one so thin, she's striped dress have only one stripe. She's a real depiction of a geometric straight line. Trust me, this Newsday will surely make your day. Because next page after the slim and dandy is Humpty Dumpty. She spread over to the next page because she take up page 2 and 3. So voluminous, I mean voluptuous. She definitely wider than width. Wait, madam, stop reading my Guardian. Furthermore, move from my stand. Here is not Nallis or Scarborough Library facility. You're just intruding on my privacy, and you just carry more news than all the news agency collectively. Woman, me say stop thieving words, because when you're reading without paying, you're news thieving. You're just looking at the pictures, whether word or picture viewing, you're still on a reading, a stealing adventure. Wait now, you there below there, I read news? Extra, extra, read about COVID in the Express. It has so much about COVID. You just have to read one per day and you would never contract it. If you get infected, The remedy right here in the Express. Boy, no mix up my papers. It's only 3 options. And the front page, like blinders. First, the bright. And looking for Dutton's intervention into Michelle's wedding. Is inquisitive, you inquisitive. What make you didn't go Michelle Monday? You is an Adventist, and you're looking for evidence to condemn Dutton. You is a real hypocrite. It is not your business. Look, now they got me papers. Go find the pastor and ask him why he did that. Or go on Facebook, find the story and message them both after that. If you ain't satisfied, twist the fact to a conspiracy theory and transmit it to everybody. Leave people business alone. Leave people business and mind your own. Leave people business and mind your story. Get the Trinidad Guardian now. It have about the seaman down south. Learn how to tame your husband to prevent him from finding a ram. Get a copy of the Newsday. See all them who getting back pay. In the Express, see Rowley and Hochoy in beauty contest. And Kamala and Stewarty like Keskidees. Come get the best. Extra news from the fake news desk.
Well. Ms. Milker, we have to know a lot of those characters that you refer to there. But that was fantastic. Thank you so much. Let's hear it for her. Good, thanks. All right, we have another stalwart coming up. That's Karen Rivers. Now, Karen is writing a poem, and it's called Chaos. And this poem, she says, allows the reader to, or the hearer, to reflect and to find answers within himself or herself for the social dilemma that we have created today. So Karen, take it away.
When square pegs masculate in wrong holes, chaos, chaos, and wrong is right and good no longer the goal, chaos, chaos. When pure hate is now the norm at daybreak, and a witness to crime is now dead bait, chaos, absolute chaos. When teenage pregnancy is now more than a way of life, chaos, chaos. And gangsters and murderers are now youngsters with knives, chaos, chaos. When a supposedly loved one resorts to rape, murder, and guile, and child abuse and molestation are now more common than a housefly, chaos, absolute chaos. When bandits no longer fear police nor guns, chaos, chaos. And boast of the number of dead men's ghosts that they total wrong, chaos, chaos. When guns are now at a peak and bodies continue to color the street, chaos, absolute chaos. When oil leaks out because sabotage creeps in, chaos, chaos. And the rise in crime just keeps escalating, chaos, chaos. When politicians hope for a brighter day, but sit and ridicule each other day after day, chaos, absolute chaos. When healthcare no longer relaxes the heart, chaos, chaos. And attitudes and attributes are now so far apart, chaos, chaos. When Adam and Adam say I do, and Jenny and Jackie decide on it too. Chaos, absolute chaos.
Miss Karen Rivers published a lovely book in the year 2014 titled Poems for Every Heart. That was one of the poems that you just heard. She is one of the Tobago Writers Guild many published and accomplished writers, and we are so proud of her. The next person we're going to hear from tonight is Miss Karen Jonas. She is going to present for us a song titled Vice Versa. Miss Karen Jonas, take it away.
Don't take me for granted, 'cause I'm always around. When I express my love, you respond with a frown. I'm not here to make you unhappy, you know. It's only for our love and relationship to grow. In the beginning, it was so special. I was hoping it will never end. All the nice treatment, any new thing would get. All the attention, ready to give it up. Not yet. Breakfast in bed, alone with other things. No time to answer the phone when it rings. Where did you come out? I love you so much. With everything said in just one single touch. I know I told you I love you so many times. It started to sound like a nursery rhyme. When I'm around you, you need your space. But when I'm not there, that space just goes to waste. It feels good to know when I return home at night, you are there. It feels good to know when I turn in my bed at night, you are there. It feels good to know when I have a cup of tea, you are there to have it with me. It feels good to know when I take a shower, you are there to take it with me. As a matter of fact, between us two, there's far too much space in my life without you. Remember the time isn't promised to you or me. When we give our love and time, let's give it free. Let's not take it for granted, for as we say, you're always there. But live and cherish precious moments and hearts, handle with care. For we are not here to make each other unhappy, you know. It's only for our love and relationship to grow.
Well, yes, Miss Karen Rivers just gave a wonderful illustration of the kind of lyrics we have here in the Tobago's Writers Guild. And if the coinciding dress code that existed between Miss Karen Rivers, myself, and Miss Deborah Moore-Miggins did not bring an African dimension to tonight's virtual concert, I'm sure that the next poem is going to get the job done. It's a poem by one of my favorite human beings, Miss Deborah Moore-Miggins, and it's titled The African Dimension. Miss Deborah Moore-Miggins, take it away.
Thank you very much, Leroy. The African Dimension. This was written about 5 years ago when we were celebrating Black Heritage Month here in Tobago. And it is one of the items included in the book Tobago in Print that was produced by the Writers Guild a couple of years ago. That's on Amazon, so if anyone is interested in reading the other 25 authors in that book, please try to get it, Tobago in Print. It is good to see we can stop to remember and pay tribute to the mother country, Africa. From she we get we African ancestor, so we must always pay respect and honor. Because them endure the Middle Passage and come here, and that we are now in this place tonight means we come from a brave survivor who was strong enough to handle the journey to come over. The others just could not endure the horror. Some dead from suffocation, dysentery, and cholera. And others was killed off by diarrhea. Then it have some who decide to dive straight into the water rather than remain on the ship going to a place that could never be better than the great and beloved Africa. Africa was the country that was most advanced of all nations. It was known all over as the cradle of civilization. The African people excelled in all kinds of invention. They were masters of medicine, mathematics, and navigation. There was planters and reapers, and they did plenty cultivation. And don't talk about business and trading, Africa was a champion. So it's so black people came to distinguish themselves with great innovation, like Louis Latimer, who invented the light bulb and air condition. And Charles Drew, he gave us the blood bank and blood preservation. Then Sarah Good gets several patents for creating furniture, the first black woman. Don't talk about Breedlove and Madam Walker. They made dollars by the million for the creation of some hair care solution. Elijah McCoy, man, he made the real McCoy for vehicle lubrication. Garrett Morgan, he made the gas mask to assist in fire explosion. And the traffic lights to prevent vehicle collision. Glanville Woods for telephone communication. The pressure cooker, paper, and refrigeration. All of that came from the minds of persons who was African. But I find we at Tobago not understand the meaning of that great African dimension. We slow to create, to invent, or to produce with distinction. We children don't want to study for no science qualification. Instead, all of them want to do arts, law, and communication, and claiming that business is not the strong point of the black man. We want a job from somebody rather than create it from our own action. Some of them idling by the road corner, getting into trouble and altercation, with their pants hanging down below in the downward position. Instead of doing things that would bring them reward and admiration. We women can walk the street in peace without molestation. Is rape, is robbery, violence, and even abduction. And we to ourselves, we Tobago woman, sometimes we just dress in a way like if we not understand that we came from a great African tradition, and that the mark of a good woman is with intellect and with human compassion, and not with raiment or external decoration. So today, when we celebrate African heritage in this little island, we must act as though we know about the African dimension in we composition, and show that we're full of creativity, intelligence, and ambition, that we is a proud people with a sense of direction, and we confident about ourselves, doing great things in this land, and that life for us did not begin on no slave plantation, but longer than that in the motherland, the place that was the cradle of civilization. I just had to say, now drag your bow, Mr. Fiddler. Thank you very much.
Drag your bow, Mr. Fiddler. Oh, ha, ha. Miss Deborah Moore Miggins just reminded us all of our African heritage. And coincidentally, the next presenter is someone that also reminds us of our African heritage. The only acoustic musical instrument that was created within the last century or so was made by Trinbagonians right here on this half of the Atlantic Ocean. Among the many talented panists that we could see here in Tobago, Mr. Leandro Norway is one of the more familiar faces. And I'm pleased to let you know that the next presentation will be Mr. Leandro Norway with his presentation titled, I Miss You.
Miss Deirdre Prescott is a prolific writer. She has published the very seminal work, I would call it, Letters from Nigeria, Reflections from an Ifa Initiate. And today she's reading an excerpt from that book, Letters from Nigeria. And we call Ms. Prescott to come to the stage now to do her piece. So we will come back to her, I imagine, and we take now Mr. Rodney Pigott. I don't know how many of you are blessed to know this gentleman. He's the current president of the Tobago Writers Guild and has been so since 2017. And he's credited with lifting the Writers Guild to a level that it never enjoyed before. He's also very prolific. His books, he has about 4 books, all being sold on Amazon as well, including, let me see, he would have written Damn That Habit. He would have also written, that's a very, very good one, I like that. He would have also written This Too Is Love. He also wrote Endangered Species and The Next Test of Men. So today he's gonna do a piece that's appropriately entitled Black Lives Matter. Mr. Rodney Pigott.
Long before George Floyd's black life was shattered, Black Lives Mattered. But it seems like this black life got your attention, though. Well, here's a few more things you need to know. Long before George Floyd, when we weren't allowed to eat in your restaurants or go to your schools, you called us ignorant and fools. It didn't matter to you that without our inventions, in spite of the yoke of enslavement and less than elementary educations, we invented and built your world for you. From the ironing board to the traffic light, the computer monitoring chip to the long-distance airplane flight. It was Louis Latimer who breathed the breath of light into the light bulb, causing it to stay lit. We invented the pacemaker control unit to give broken hearts a beating chance. We taught the world to dance. From blues to rock and roll, we are the soul in souls. Black lives mattered because without black lives, all lives wouldn't matter. You would have no matter in your lives. Just a bunch of ideas, wannabe dreams. We dreamt your dreams into reality. Even on plantations where you imprisoned our humanity, you benefited handsomely from our innate creativity. In spite of the racial injustices you saddled us with, black lives still built your White House, designed your capital. It is our black lives, our black sweat, our black tears that made America great down through those former years. Now you want her to be great again. But we have no more sweat, no more tears again. Your reign of death has reached the end. Long before George Floyd, when we weren't allowed to sit at the front of your buses, when you were burning your unholy crosses, always with their blasted whip to show us who the boss is, black lives mattered then. Black lives mattered when Black Wall Street went up in flames. Buried beneath your feet the bones of unknown names. You felt no shame then. How can America ever be great again? Black lives mattered when black lives enslaved on Haiti freed themselves from France's whip, grip, and tyranny. France responded with extortion and American complicity, all designed to immerse Haitian black lives in poverty. Black lives mattered when black lives in the Congo was being shattered, limbs dismembered, black bodies maimed and battered by Belgium's King Leopold and his bloodthirsty clan. all so that Europe and America could build up their land, while simultaneously underdeveloping Africa. God damn you, Urugu. You could have just asked for the rubber. School-aged children beaten, mutilated, forced to toil. The blood of over 14 million black lives soaked in the Congo soil. Black lives mattered when the black life of Patrice Lumumba was senselessly tortured and murdered. He spoke the truth to Belgians. This is more than just a theory of conspiracy. We know there was CIA Belgium complicity. Black lives mattered when Steve Biko was stripped, naked, and shackled, then beaten to death by white police officers. His whole life was dedicated to Black Lives Matter, where Mandela spent 27 years of his lifespan falsely imprisoned from your palace of injustice to Robben Island, where you tried robbing him of his dignity and righteous stand. 18 years spent in a damp concrete cell, 8 feet by 7 feet, a whisper sounded like you yell. He had a bucket for a toilet and a straw mat for a bed. Black lives mattered when a 12-year-old little black boy playing with his little black toy, a little toy gun, no danger to anyone. Tamir Rice was shot to death by police under the Cleveland sun. He was plain while black. Black lives mattered when Emmett Till was hunted and killed. He was beaten to a pulp, no fiction. Eyes gouged out, still no conviction. His mutilated body dumped in the river Tallahatchie. God damn you, Mississippi. He was only 14 years old, far too young for his body to be so cold. No death bells were on schedule to toll. Now we can talk about Michael Brown, Freddie Gray, Eric Garner, choked to death on a filthy New York City corner. Katherine Johnson, a 92-year-old grandmother, 39 shots, 6 bullets found their mark. You put her name on a neighborhood park. She was sitting while black. Now there are far too many et ceteras. We can talk about your blessed Jim Crow era, where black lives to you was more than just nature's error. But 2020 is more than just a year of hindsight. It's the year black lives organize and fight, not just with bullets and ballots, street protests and riots. We're going to fight by remembering our ancestors, remembering they gave us the answers. This is the year we exhale the pain of our ancestors, packed like sardines in the bottom of those blasted ships, you and that blasted whip. They couldn't breathe. Millions and millions of black lives slaughtered, fed to the sharks. From coffer lines to plantations, auction families ripped apart. This is the year we begin to breathe for them, to be real for them. This is the year you finally get it. You don't have white privilege. You merely enjoy the benefits of your ancestors' white pillages, from kidnapping, torture, to wiping out whole villages. Papal bulls gave you the thumbs up to enslave black lives into perpetuity. Your intention was for us never to be free. So now that we have your attention, this is where we need to mention that all those black lives mattered, those black lives that you shattered. Because all lives won't matter until we settle that reparations matter.
Thank you, Rodney. How deep, how deep. I like the line where he said, we will fight by remembering. That is very profound, and we thank you for reminding us of all the atrocities over the years, the Tulsa riots. You spoke about the various persons who met their deaths at the hands of police. And I guess, as you said, this is the year of reckoning. So this is a very good reminder for us. We go back to Ms. Deirdre Prescott. Her offering is letters from Nigeria which is an excerpt from her book, which is Letters from Nigeria, Reflections from an IFA Initiate.
I was asked to write something cheerful and upbeat. I tried, but I could not get my mind to cooperate. I kept thinking about injustice, discrimination, and the evil that surrounds us. But I persevered in my quest for the upbeat. I eventually reasoned that we are living in perilous times. And although I do want to rant and rave and cannot muster cheerful at this time, I can aim for introspection and truth. So I resorted to this short excerpt from my book, Letters from Nigeria, Reflections of an IFA Initiate. Where is the roadmap to a successful life? And if it is through God, which God? Personally, I believe there is only one God, one entity, one whole, and everything else is a part of that whole. With growth, I have come to accept that we do not have to approach God in the same way or call him by the same name to be sincere. We deny God's omnipotence, omnipresence, omniscience, and all other omni when we try to dictate and limit how people acknowledge and worship the divine. A pertinent concern is our thoughts on God's expectations. I am certain that if any, at the very least, it would be that we make a concerted effort to come to terms with our differences, be responsible stewards, and enjoy our beautiful planet in unity. God is everything, and we decide which aspect of him, her, it we want to manifest. Every day, based on our thoughts and choices, we either fortify our resolve or morph slightly into a different being. Sustaining a particular trend will show more obvious results than when we vacillate. So what trends are we building? What will our legacy be? We are being naive when we do not acknowledge the reality of evil and that evil clothes itself in a range of disguises. Left to run wild, our anger, minor dislikes, and petty jealousies develop into the really gross stuff. It is how we tame and manage these thoughts and their accompanying emotions that tips the scale in favor of either good or evil. If good must manifest, so must evil. There cannot be one without the other. How we perceive, sustain, and manage our thoughts results in the words and deeds that they blossom into. Productive management of our thoughts can only be executed based on our personal and collective, if drawn upon, wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. Of course, this is not as simple as it sounds, as even with the best intentions, our base information and belief systems may be flawed. How do we fight evil? Is it a battle we can win? Is it possible to bring peace and order to our world? Can evil be destroyed? And if so, how? Or scarier yet, Are we all pawns in a game we do not comprehend? Being activated by remote control? I do not believe that any one person or one group of people holds all the answers. And as a result, our collective salvation rests in our ability to see beyond our differences and dwell on our sameness of belonging to the human race and the fact that we share the same planet. But how do we get to that place? Evil deeds are the manifestation of negative thoughts that culminate in actions. It then may not lead to clarity by dwelling only on the deed, but more importantly, to focus on what prompted the desires and thoughts that were the genesis of said deed, and backtrack from there.
It was fantastic, very deep and thought-provoking. What a presentation from Our Lady of Africa herself, Ms. Deirdre Prescott. Thank you. Next is our Vice President. You heard her earlier, Mrs. Anne-Marie Davis, and she is doing an extempo, a song, and the title of her song is Virus Day Done. She wrote it in response to the current pandemic, and it highlights what we need to do so as a community, as the world, to end that pandemic. This is Miss Anne-Marie Davis, who is the Vice President of the Tobago Writers Guild. Several of her pieces are also included in our book, Tobago in Print. So let us hear how Anne-Marie suggests that we handle the pandemic as a community, as an island, as the world.
The kindness tree. Be kind to all, both big and small. Be kind in word and deed. What's needed is a tiny act, small as a mustard seed. You plant this very minute seed in the garden that's called life. You weed it round and tend to it and uproot weeds of strife. You watch it daily blossom now into the kindness tree, and then you pluck a leaf or two and sit right back and see. The both leaves represent kindness, a good deed done someday. It may be offering words of cheer or showing someone the way. You pluck more leaves from this great tree and share someone who's ill, and share with those who are in need, and surely do God's will. And as the days both come and go, and leaves become much less, you strive to be real kind to all, recognizing you are blessed. And when the last leaf is then plucked, another good deed is done. Rest assured you're on your way to winning that glorious crown. And now the tree is stark and bare, without a leaf in sight. You start the process once again and continue to do what's right. And so you plant a seed again, sit back and watch it grow. And as the leaves slowly emerge, kindness acts will follow.
Sorry, viewers, I think we got the wrong item, but you will hear about the pandemic a little later in our program from Ms. Anne-Marie Davis. And I'll hand you over to Leroy, who would continue the job.
Okay, so the next person we're going to hear from, got a little bit thrown off there, but the next person we're going to hear from is Miss Hannah Rose Alfred. Miss Hannah Rose Alfred is presenting a poem, and the title of that poem is Everything is Connected. We heard one of the presenters before speak about her understanding of the singular nature of the omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent one. And if her understanding is as accurate as I think it is, it would lend evidence to the theory of everything being connected as one. And so let's hear from Miss Hannah Rose Alfred.
I am everything, and everything is me? It's all connected, we can agree. I'll treat you like I'd like to be treated, 'cause the message of unity is being repeated. I'm finding love for what's looking back at me, both in the mirror and in society. Living each moment like it's my last, healing myself from my past. Seeing in terms of frequency, letting the path unfold in front of me. Choosing love as my only stance, giving up all resistance. Going with the flow, trusting God to know. No more suppressing, stressing, or guessing. Now, I just count my blessings. I seek the existence before technology. How peaceful and content we would be. Before seeing everyone else's life. Before the anxiety of modern strife. I'm acknowledging my soul as pure and good, as unique and sometimes misunderstood. My thoughts are creating my reality. So I'm forever striving to think positively. Things have started manifesting in front of me. I've begun to see the synchronicity. My mind can conceptualize a wider view, but the present moment is to be attended to. Using my power only to make things go well, never allowing my ego to swell. Sharing my thoughts in conversation and helping God to raise the vibration.
Rhythmic Vibrations is about to treat us with dance and song, the song being titled I Look to You. I expect at this point the visual enjoyment is about to be exponentially amplified. I Look to You by Rhythmic Vibrations.
As I lay me down, heaven hear me now. I'm lost without a cause, after giving it my all. Winter storms have come and darkened my sun. After all that I've been through, who on earth can I turn to? I look to you, I look to you. After all my strength is gone, in you I can be strong. I look to you. And when melodies are gone, in you I hear a song, I look to you. After losing my breath, there's no more fighting left, sinking to rise no more, and searching for that open door. And every road that I've taken led to my regret, and I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Nothing to do but lift my head. I look to you. I look to you. And when all my strength is gone, in you I can't be strong. I look to you. I look to you. Oh yeah. And when melodies are gone, in you I hear a song. I look to you. Oh Lord, coming down on me. All the rain is falling. Set me free. Take me far away from the battle, and I need you to shine on me. I look to you. I look to you. After all my strength is gone, in you I can be strong. I look to you. I look to you. And when melodies are gone, in you I hear a song. I look to you. I look to you. I look to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a stunning performance. It was one that totally uplifted me personally, and I am sure you share this thought with me, that the harmony, the synergy between the singer and the dancers was outstanding. And what a lovely voice, what an engaging personality the singer demonstrated. We have to be proud that we have talent like this in Tobago, and certainly to the persons who are responsible for grooming them and practicing them to bring them to this near level of perfection. It is indeed a very, very uplifting and proud moment. Congratulations to the rhythmic vibrations. We love you. And now we go on to another outstanding personality in Tobago, Xavier Edwards. This is a man that brings down the hall in any event. Is an outstanding conscious lyrics musician who embraces and shares his music as a means of transformation, inspiration, and healing. Xavier is the recipient of the National Youth Award 2019 for positive messaging through music, as well as the THA Youth Award 2019 for the performing arts. What an outstanding, is the only word I can find, but I'm sure there are several. Excellent, fantastic, wonderful young man. And he's doing a piece called Duality, which is a poetic depiction of polarity in the universe and our individual experiences. He gives a long explanation of his work Duality, but let him demonstrate it himself with a performance. We have Xavier Edwards with hip hop soul by name of Duality.
Peace and love to everyone tuned in. My name is Xavier Edwards. Starts with an X, ends with a Z. It's my pleasure and honor to share with you all. And this is a true story. Sometimes I feel like God, sometimes I feel like the devil, sometimes I roll like the bass, sometimes I float like a treble, sometimes I feel really high, other times I feel really low, sometimes we hold on tight, and other times we gotta let go. Sometimes I feel like God, sometimes I feel like a devil, sometimes I roll like the bass, sometimes I float like a treble, sometimes I feel really high, and other times I feel really low. Sometimes we hold on tight, and other times we gotta let go. Translating transcripts from the astral, trying to find a way with no cadastral sheet that I could trust. Read your Bible, pray to Jesus. They might feed me lies and tell me eat up. Mental poison, time to detox the mind. Know all about slavery, not what's behind. As time progresses, I press rewind. What's the truth about where you came from? Before you worked on a plantation, before Lucifer's name was Satan, and everything you knew was based on lessons taught by male Caucasians. Before I was black or you were Asian, Hindu, Muslim or a pagan. Sleeping children, please awaken. Yeah. Sleeping children, please awaken. Yeah. Sleeping children, please awaken. Sleeping children, please awaken. Sometimes I feel like God, sometimes I feel like a devil, sometimes I roll like the bass, sometimes I float like a treble, sometimes I feel really high, and other times I feel really low. Sometimes we hold on tight, and other times we gotta let go. Sometimes I feel like God, sometimes I feel like the devil, sometimes I roll like the bass, sometimes I float like a treble, sometimes I feel really high, and other times I feel really low. Sometimes we hold on tight, and other times we gotta let go. Every student, every teacher should forever be a seeker. So when you get your eureka moment, give thanks that the Akashic reach you. I know that you're chosen. Generational curses now broken. Sometimes we fall, but yet still we rise. They can't stop the divine unfolding. Where was Atlantis on the Atlas? Merkaba emerald tablets. And from whence came your bad habits? Promiscuity, the violence and malice. Who was Osiris? Meditate, there's wisdom in silence. Why when I look in your eyes, I see myself in your iris? Why when I look in your eyes, I see myself in your iris? Why when I look in your eyes, I see myself in your... Sometimes I feel like God. Sometimes I feel like God. Sometimes I feel like a devil. Sometimes I roll like the bass. Sometimes I float like a treble. Sometimes I feel really high, and other times I feel really low. Sometimes we hold on tight, and other times we gotta let go. Sometimes I feel like, and sometimes I feel right. We got to heal right now. No.
Whoa, what was that? Xavier, what a wonderful performance. We thank you for that, and it really encourages us, as you promised, to take the journey of self-discovery while peeling away the layers of miseducation that shape our perception of reality. Xavier, he says Xavier. He told me say Xavier, but like anyone would do. So Xavier Edwards, thank you so much. We go on now to Daniel and Brittany Brooks, who will do a poem called A Love Letter. Daniel, Pereira and Brittany Brooks.
So I write this poem for you a while back, and I want to read it for you. Okay? Okay. It's really good to hear your voice saying my name. It sounds so sweet, coming from the lips of an angel. Hearing those words, it makes me weak. I have heard the echoes of angels and the temptations of devils. I've seen the rise of empires and the fall of civilizations. Yet all of these sights seem to pass me by with little to no reaction. When I first saw you, I felt like the clouds would create a path of light just to let you walk through. Like the flowers were too shy to bloom in your presence, the waters of the sea would part as if God Himself demanded they make way. When I first spoke to you, I felt my shaking body calm down for the first time. I felt the noises in my head quiet. I saw colors so vibrant that I felt I could paint works that even Michelangelo would go, damn, can you teach me that? I felt my rage quelled, my eyes fixed, my hunger satisfied. My path in life became clear. When I first met you, I thought, yeah, I'm staring at the future Mrs. Pereira. I know it sounds cliche, but when I first met you, I saw a clear-cut future. I saw 2 kids, a dog, a cat, a 2-story house with a big yard, a little kiddie pool in the back, and a beautiful, beautiful family portrait hanging in the living room. For the first time, the voices agreed. They got quiet. For the first time, my hands didn't tremble. For the first time, my actions and my thoughts were perfectly in sync. When I first met you, I became a singer. I wrote you songs upon songs just about your smile. I became a poet. I'd write you sonnets about your eyes and the way they reflect your joy. I became a painter. I painted the picture of our future while describing all the things we do together. When I met you, for the first time in my life, I felt genuine happiness. I had hoped that forever meant forever. I had hoped that I love you means I love you. I had hoped that I could finally be at peace. I guess I'm a bit of a hopeless romantic because sometimes I still hope that forever means forever. That I love you means I love you. And that I could probably still feel at peace. But humans have a way of disappointing you. So while I'm still hopeful, I'm very, very cautious. Yeah.
Have you ever seen the preview to a movie and you couldn't feel at ease? You felt as though you couldn't reach 100% ease until you actually saw that entire movie? Well, that's how I feel about our next presentation by Miss Maria Bristol Darlington with her monologue, The Nation's School Bag. So, I've been waiting a while to see this, The Nation's School Bag.
The father of the nation long ago did brag that the nation's future was in a child's school bag. I wonder what he would say now if he could see in my school bag somehow. Is the nation's future really in my school bag? Nowadays, when the dog, the tail does wag, don't put the nation's well-being inside here. That is too big a burden I don't care to share. I'm living carefree from day to day. Some would even say I've gone astray. Who wants a heavy bag of books on their back, especially when every ounce of ambition they lack? Dr. Williams was spot on in what he was saying. But you know how some children like strain? If my school bag, the nation's future rests, I'm telling you, this country will be in a very big mess. I know by now you are in great suspense, and you're saying, why this girl talking so much nonsense? But do you know it's fashionable to have a weapon? Yes, that's why inside my bag there is a gun. This towel and bath suit are for breaking beach. And this joint is a smoke when I reach. I definitely must sport my sunglasses. How else will I fit in with the masses? This pack of cards is for some serious gambling. While I winning the money, they go be balling. My bandana is not for wiping my face. It's to let them upstart children know their place. Of course, I had to have my big time cell phone, because you know Facebook, I can't leave it alone. This knife is not for peeling any fruit. So don't test me, because I could be a real brute. Who girl in her good mind will forget her makeup kit? Forget that, and I will surely have a fit. What is a school bag that doesn't have a KFC? A sure waste of time, according to me. I have these fancy slippers to sport. After these cheap imitation sandals, sneakers, my parents bought. And I need this change of clothes for the mall. When I go there with my darling Mr. Paul. I have this so I can practice safely. Because you know how AIDS, HIV can be real deadly. And what is a drink? What is a day without a drink of rum to ease life's stress, anxiety, and boredom? During the day, my look I may want to change, so my hairstyle I may have to rearrange. You're still hoping having nation's future in here? And anyhow, why should you care? You thought at least I'd take out one book, but like you didn't notice how much space all these things took. So dear people, let me tell you the facts. The nation's future is the one thing my school bag lacks. Hello peeps, here comes Sir John Equation. And according to you, I'm at school to build my nation. Laters, I bought already, yes?
Oui. That's a bit frightening. And I really hope that that is a minority. Am I right, Leroy? You are closer to school children than I am here. But let us at least be aware and also uplift and glorify those who have a more positive attitude to our school and to their lessons. So we go back now to Miss Anne-Marie Davis, and she is now going to do Virus Day Done, extempo, as only she can do it.
Now COVID-19 reaching the place, affecting the entire human race. It's no respect of social class. It go lick you down if the symptoms last. So we had to meet this virus head on and fight it all night into the morn. We had to work together as one. So virus they go on. Ba-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-ba-dum. Telling you, ba-dum, ba-dum. So everyone has a part to play to keep this deadly virus at bay. No more fetting and no more liming. It's only takeout and no more dining. We had to sit down now when we home and resist the strong urge to roam. We had to work together as one. So virus they go on. Ba-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-ba-dum. Telling you, ba-dum, ba-da-dum, bum-bum, ba-dum. If we really had to go out, we had to know what we are about. Cover your face with your homemade mask. That must be your personal task. Remember social distancing too. Go be better for me and you. We had to work together as one. So virus they go down. Ba-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-ba-dum. Ba-ba-dum. Bum, 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 ba-dum. Remember the spiritual side of this. We had to put Jesus in the mix. Everybody bend the knee and declare, Father, deliver us from this fear. Help this pandemic to go away. Help us to return to you and pray. We had to work together as one. So virus they go down. Ba-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-ba-dum. Bam-ba-dum, ba-da-dum. Bam-ba-dum, ba-da-dum. Bam-bam, bam-ba-dum.
So Anne-Marie is the expert. She's becoming an exponent of the Sandy Manite. I heard her perform at another time, and she's developing her skills in this area. I guess we have different genre. Everybody is trying to find their own way. I like the speech band. Anne-Marie is the Sandy Manite. I know Milka likes the humorous deliveries. She's the joker in the pack, and oh, you're right, she has some serious pieces as well. She's versatile. So thank you, Anne-Marie, for that delivery. And Leroy?
Miss Miggins.
Yes.
Miss Anne-Marie encouraged me. I feel like I have an extempo too. You think I'm allowed to sing it?
Yes, I would think so.
I was impressed with Miss Anne-Marie. I don't know about you, but I know about me. So I want to hear she again with a very nice poem. And the poem is called The Kindness Tree. So do not listen to me. Mr. Kyron Reed, we want to hear Anne-Marie. With the poem tree. The Kindness Tree.
Woo! You even know what you
Kindness tree. Be kind to all, both big and small. Be kind in word and deed. What's needed is a tiny act, small as a mustard seed. You plant this very minute seed in the garden that's called life. You weed it round and tend to it and uproot weeds of strife. You watch it daily blossom now into the kindness tree, and then you pluck a leaf or two and sit right back and see. The both leaves represent kindness, a good deed done someday. It may be offering words of cheer or showing someone the way. You pluck more leaves from this great tree and share someone who's ill, and share with those who are in need, and surely do God's will. And as the days both come and go, and leaves become much less, you strive to be real kind to all, recognizing you are blessed. And when the last leaf is then plucked, another good deed is done. Rest assured you're on your way to winning that glorious crown. And now the tree is stark and bare, without a leaf in sight. You start the process once again and continue to do what's right. And so you plant a seed again, sit back and watch it grow. And as the leaves slowly emerge, kindness acts will follow.
You, Anne-Marie. I tried to give Milka the crown for being the joker in the park, but she didn't like it. So I want to take up that crown. I like the comical stuff. So I'm writing a book on that. But here now, a couple of them. Hold your wife's hands in the mall. It may look romantic, but it's really economic. You know why? All right, the other one is called grumblementation. This is one where two fellas arguing by the foot of a stage, panorama time. And the band play, and one of them saying that it was the Buccaneers. Another one saying, no, that wasn't the Buccaneers, man, that was our boys. And they had a big argument going between the two of them. So a man came by, another man, and one of the vagrants, a vagrant type, went up to him and said, so who was a band that now played there? Eh? He said, that was the Buccaneers. He turned to the fellow, I told you so. When I heard the grumblementation of the bass, I knew it was the Buccaneers. So you got to listen for the grumblementation of the bass. All right, so we continue with the program, and we're at the end. Ladies and gentlemen, would you believe? And we're now on to, who is next, Leroy?
Right now we have a part two. I was looking forward to, when I saw the preview for the first one, I didn't realize there was a sequel, and I'm really happy to see that we have a part two. The Nation's School Bag by Miss Bristol Darlington. Maria Bristol Darlington, rather.
Dr. Williams said, the future was in my school bag. A very big responsibility, so I can't lag. The contents of my school bag I will display to show you all how I will spend my day. I have my pencil case with all my tools, because I don't want to join no band of fools. I'm taking the father of the nation seriously, so I am seeking my education conscientiously. I have all my books and notebooks too. I will need them my schoolwork to do. In my bag is a healthy snack and my home-cooked food my mom did pack. Of course, I have my bottle of water so I can regulate my health to make it better. My cell phone is to call home and research to do. I don't live on Facebook as some of you. I have this rag to wipe my face, and hands as I keep abreast of the school's pace. Also in my bag, I carry my laptop because I'm striving to keep my grades up. There aren't any frivolous things inside here. Getting a sound education is all I care. I certainly won't be skipping any classes. I'm a leader, not a follower of the masses. My homework is always correct and neatly done. My position in my form is number 1. Dr. Williams, I'm living up to your prediction. I'm definitely sold on your conviction. The nation's future is in my school bag too. Our society depends on all that I do. By studying hard from day to day, my obligation as a citizen, I hope to pay. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, so I am set on covering every base. A school bag must contain the tools of the trade. All those stuff, your education will aid. The father of the nation was very wise. He was looking beyond the scope of our eyes. He knew that youths are the next generation who would make or break our beautiful nation. So he was urging youths to do their part and to take their responsibility to heart. He realized that an education is key to success, to keep us a cut above all the rest. So my fellow students, guard your school bag carefully and don't put anything adverse in there carelessly. Parents, make a check of the bags each day. Please don't let neglect lead your youths astray. My school bag holds the future of the nation. That, to me, is a powerful motivation. Here comes Sir. So I am going to be fulfilling my destiny.
Well, that is a serious delivery, and it is welcome because we wouldn't have wanted to end the night with the other type of student. And it just goes to show that choices, the choice you make in life is very important. Look at how 2 different students saw that address that the Prime Minister then, Dr. Eric Williams, gave to the young people on the night before independence in 1962, when he told them the future of this nation is in your school bags. 2 different interpretations. What do you think?
Ms. Miggins, when I was watching the second half, what struck me is that the school uniform didn't change, which would indicate to me that at the 5th form level, both young ladies would have been doing more or less equally as well, or as good, for want of a better wording. And I kept wondering, is it that the 2 ladies just resemble each other, and it's 2 separate ladies? Or did she realize that she reached a certain age in the same school and decided to transition altogether?
That is a good interpretation as well. Who knows? That is good news.
Either which way, it does show that redemption is a very real something.
If it's she who was redeemed,
if
it's 2 different
and the
people.
choices that you make could really send you down 2 very different paths.
Yes. So I think we ought to commend Miss Darlington, Maria Darlington, Bristol Darlington, for her presentation. It's a good note to end on. And at this stage, Leroy, I think we ought to call on our vote of thanks giver. I think it was a beautiful evening sharing it with you, and I'm hoping that you felt the same way about me.
Definitely, definitely. Now, when I heard that the person giving the vote of thanks was another one of my favorite people, Mr. Sean Big Hat Hodgkinson, and I always put in the big hat. I must put in the big hat because I did a research paper on his great-grandfather, who was the first legislative council representative, well, democratically elected legislative council representative for Tobago in the Red House. And then I met his grandson, who is about to give the vote of thanks, just a couple months afterwards, and he really seemed to fit the script of what I had read. So, Mr. Sean Bigart Hodgkinson, can you come and bring down the curtains for us, please?
And let us say thanks to our viewers, thanks to all those who tuned in. Thank you for your patience. And belatedly, we apologize for the late start. Join us on our next venture. We promise that it would start on time. We also, of course, we were the ones who benefited from New Lens and their expertise at today's event, so we thank them. I'm sure Sean would do the rest in terms of thanking everybody. Sean Hutchinson, Bigart Hutchinson.
Thank you, Ms. Miggins. Thank you very much, tall man Leroy George. It's an honor to be here tonight representing Tobago Writers Guild. I'm the secretary for the Tobago Writers Guild, so I tried my best to help to coordinate the activities and the work that we're involved in. And I think tonight's event, this virtual concert, Stepping Out of COVID, has demonstrated very clearly that the Writers Guild has not been lazy, has not been sitting on our hands in the last few months of isolation. Our writers, our performers, our musicians have been active, creating, and doing their work. And the work that they've done on behalf of the Guild tonight at this virtual event has been superb. So I thank all the performers for their work and for their contributions tonight. I've been asked to give a vote of thanks. I'll try and make it as brief as I can, but there's plenty of people to thank and plenty of people to show gratitude to. Tall man Leroy George mentioned my great-grandfather. It's important to, in these circumstances, in these situations, to always call on the ancestors, because it's the ancestors who are guiding us, who are looking over us, who give us our inspiration, and from where we come. So I thank the ancestors for giving us the direction and giving us the inspiration, giving us the impetus to do our work. And I think their words, their work, their influence shines through all the performances that we've seen tonight. Our performers have been superb. I mean, we've had a whole range of creative talent on display in a Tobagonian form. But the content that we've seen has been contemporary, topical, different genres. We've seen pan, the national instrument. We've seen spoken word. We've seen poetry of different types, comedy, drama, observations, topical and contemporary observations. We've seen dance. We've seen extempo. We've seen calypso. So this demonstrates the range of skill, creative talent that's available right here in this small island of Tobago. We're small, but we joke hard, or we little, but we talawa, as the Jamaicans say. Our technical staff, our technical people have done a fantastic job for us tonight, despite the fact that we came late, or we began late. The work that we've been able to present tonight to you tonight wouldn't have been possible without our technical people. So we thank in our crew, Richard Crawford, Sheldon Cromarty, Kiko Daniel, and Jahim Otley. We thank them very much for their work, because what you're seeing tonight is a result of their technical wizardry, which has overcome all kind of technical problems, challenges, Sahara dust. They've overcome it, and what you're seeing tonight is as a result of their skill and their technical wizardry. Our MCs have been fantastic. They are experienced and knowledgeable. Deborah Moore Miggins is illustrious, a VIP, well-known TV personality, raconteur, serious speaker. There's not much that we can't say about Miss Moore Miggins, and she's also resplendent tonight in Afrocentric attire, as is our co-host, Mr. Leroy George, the tall man. So it was incumbent upon me to also try and match the sartorial elegance which the MCs have shown tonight. So I thank our MCs who've guided us, helmed this performance, the performances of our creative artists tonight. Touch Tobago Live. You're watching this tonight live via the Facebook pages of Touch Tobago Live and the Tobago Writers Guild. So we thank the Guild and Touch Tobago Live for the expertise that they've showed us tonight. Also, I believe we're on YouTube. So for all those mediums, we thank everyone. Our sponsors tonight, we've been sponsored by, as I said, Touch Tobago Live and also New Lens. Now, in the last few weeks, maybe we haven't heard that much from New Lens, but prior to this period of isolation, New Lens have been instrumental for the past 2 or 3 years in the work that we've done with the Guild, with our lecture series, our annual reading fest, our literary affair. So as well as the support they've given us tonight, we thank our colleagues from New Lens for the work that they've done in helping us with this show. Set design. Now, what you see behind us is like a bright, colorful, professional stage. There's a trio who was involved in creating this stage. Brothers Kyron and Kyle Reed, along with the matriarch Milka Robinson Reed. So we thank them for that. And I'm sure the performers would have liked to express their gratitude for having such a stage to perform their work on. We were also supported tonight with a song and dance and choreography, which was provided by Arlene Taylor and Leandro Nore, and the rhythmic vibrations. So we thank them very much for their support in the work that we've done, and in the work that you've seen tonight. Last but not least, definitely not least, you, the watching audience, we thank you. This is like the Tobago equivalent of the Versus Live. If those of you who have been watching Versus Live, we have the same skills in Tobago to provide creative energy, creative talent. So to our audience, we hope you've enjoyed our production tonight. We hope you've seen and are now clear that in Tobago we have talent in abundance, we have knowledge in abundance, we can cover and express artistically on contemporary events, on historical events, we can use Tobagonian style, we can sing, we can dance, we can play pan. The world is our oyster, as they say. So, thank you very much. That's the last but not least, again, our MCs. Thank you very much.
And thank you, Sean. Thank you. And of course, we need to thank Ms. Milka Robinson-Reed for putting together and coordinating the program, all the performance. She did a fantastic job in doing that. You're welcome.
It's virtual concert.